You're a betting man of sorts, Nick. What are your odds? Your personal odds? You're an underdog in your mind. Maybe you are
of course
a favorite. All right. Well, what are the odds? I mean, what would you put yourself at?
Well, so that's an interesting thing. So and I hate to answer a question with a question, but you are two brilliant poker minds. So let me ask you guys this: if you had a player in the 99th percentile taking on the definition of average, like the 50th percentile. So someone not a monkey playing cards, but somebody that actually knows the rules, an average, probably slightly losing career player. In this format, what do you think the discrepancy is there? Is it minus 300?
I would guess
that feels. Go ahead.
I would guess in the minus 200 range, because all due respect to Hellmuth, but the brilliant poker minds who, thank you for the compliment, that's not us, but they did have Negreanu at minus 150 when they thought that he had a significant edge over Hellmuth, when they thought that he was much better. So yeah, I'd say minus 200-ish for the scenario you presented.
Right. So that's, or call it minus 250. Sure. Right. So my point is, like, in this format, unlike, the 25,000 hands against Doug Polk.
Yeah.
He's minus 500,000. He's, you can't set the line high enough. This, if I was just a guy you pulled out of Aria, right? It was like, hey, I play once a week and I'm an average player. I think that guy's only like plus 260. So what do I think I am? I don't know. Plus 185, plus 190, like, slightly worse than the Hawks tonight, and the Hawks could win. Like, and so I also think that there are a couple things that I can do that can shift the odds quickly within the match. And I also think that the longer it goes on, now, while it has been Phil's specialty, get it to where everyone's short stacked. So let me tell you something else. I don't know if I should say this but it doesn't matter. I'll just say it. It's going to be such a unique situation for Phil, because against Antonio and Daniel, he had a very clear strategy, right? Play small ball, get it to where the blinds are a significant portion of your stack. When you're playing an amateur who you are clearly superior than, isn't that the opposite of what you want?
Yeah.
The greater the blinds get, the less his edge is. So there's a lot of things to it that I think make it a unique situation. The other thing that I'm going to be totally honest with the audience is, I have to see whether or not, because I've never played in this type of format, whether, like, what my physical tells could be, and whether or not I can use that to my potential advantage, or whether or not that could ruin me. Like, I know I plan to win, I hope to win, but there's a chance, because I've never been in this type of format, that it's like, oh, this idiot, he has no idea his eye twitches every time he has it, and he won't know it until he watches it. So we'll see. I don't think that's the case. I've played enough poker in my life that I think I would know, but I've obviously never played this type of thing on television, one-on-one with, arguably the most accomplished player ever.
Let me jump in real quick there, Nick. You're sort of, talking about yourself maybe giving off tells against Hellmuth that he could swallow up quickly. You've watched every match of High Stakes Duel.
Yeah.
You're very in tune with the poker world. Have you picked up anything that you've noticed on Hellmuth that I don't know, a little bag of tricks, if you will?
Yeah, I think there is one thing that across all 6 matches was incredibly consistent, and I think Daniel knew it. I think Antonio knew it. I think it is super exploitable. And I think the reason they didn't is because, again, and I hate to keep harping the same point, they were trying to minimize variance because they felt they were the better players. I am going to try to add variance because I know Phil has the edge here. And I think that I think there is one thing that if you've watched all 6 matches that Phil does in certain spots, that's pretty obvious. And it's 4 out of 5 times. And I get why if you think you're a huge favorite, you're afraid of the 1 out of 5. But if you don't think you're a huge favorite and you can lean into the numbers, I think it's exploitable. I do think there's one specific thing, a couple smaller things, but I do think it's exploitable. There's something that's exploitable there. I do.